I set the table for 3. The fine china, the heavy silver forks that only emerged at Christmas, and the delicate crystal salt shaker my husband had once picked up at an antique fair. The turkey had been resting on the counter for an hour, its aroma of sage and butter seeping into every corner of the house. Bing Crosby played softly on the old radio, a voice that carried me back to days when laughter filled these rooms, when stockings hung heavy along the mantel. But this year was quiet. Too quiet. I kept glancing at the clock. 6:30, they said 5. I sent a text to my son, "Everything okay?" No reply. I tried to ignore how the silence pressed in on me, how the shadows in the corners seemed to lengthen as the evening dragged on. I poured a glass of wine, forcing myself not to notice how the steam rising from the gravy boat had faded, how the candles burned low without a witness. At 7:30 my phone buzzed. A message from him. "Sorry, Mom. We're at Sarah's mom's. Merry Christmas. Talk soon." Just like that. Flat, distant, not even a call. I stared at the words until they blurred. My hand shook as I set the phone down. 2 days of cooking, 2 weeks of planning, and he, my only child, had chosen her family over me. I sat alone at that long table, the plates untouched. Then came the knock. Sharp, deliberate, not gentle. 3 quick raps as if the person on the porch didn't want to linger. I opened the door and the December wind cut through me like a knife. A courier stood there, breath misting in the cold, holding a padded envelope. "Delivery for Mrs. Carter," he said, eyes avoiding mine. No smile, no Merry Christmas. I took the envelope, cold, stiff against my palm. No return address, just my name. By the time I looked up, he was already halfway down the walkway, swallowed by darkness. I sat back at the table, staring at the envelope. My appetite vanished, replaced by a tight coil of unease in my chest. Something inside warned me not to open it, that whatever lay inside could change the night. Maybe everything. But loneliness has a strange way of bending reason. Loneliness and wine. I tore it open. Inside was a single sheet of paper, folded twice. My hands trembled as I flattened it against the tablecloth. It was typed. No signature, no greeting, just words. "He's not who you think he is. Ask him about last winter in Chicago. Ask him what happened on West Belmont Avenue. If he denies it, look deeper. You'll find the proof." I read it once. Twice. My throat tightened. West Belmont Avenue, Chicago. My son had told me he'd been in Chicago last winter on a short work trip. Just a few days, he'd said. Nothing unusual. I hadn't thought twice until now. That night I couldn't sleep. Every creak in the house made me jump. The letter lay on my nightstand, burning holes through the dark. I thought back to when he was little, the way he laughed until he hiccuped, the way he'd fall asleep on my chest with tiny fists curled against me. I had raised him alone after his father died. Everything I'd done, every sacrifice, all for him. So why, after all these years, would a stranger think I needed to look deeper? The next morning I called him. He picked up on the second ring, voice tight. "Mom, can we talk later?" "We're busy." I pressed. "Busy with what? Why weren't you here last night? Why didn't you even call me?" Pause. Then flatly, "It was Sarah's idea. We'll make it up to you." His words felt stiff, rehearsed. When I mentioned Chicago, when I said Belmont, the silence stretched so long I thought the call had dropped. Finally he muttered, "Don't ever bring that up again," and hung up. Suspicion took root. I searched West Belmont Avenue, Chicago on my laptop, winter light reflecting off the screen. The first result froze my blood. An unsolved homicide. A woman found dead in her apartment. The date? February, the exact week my son was there. Few details, case cold, but enough. Why send me that letter? How did they know my name, my address, my son? The floor felt like it was tilting beneath me. By evening I couldn't bear it any longer. I drove across town, headlights cutting through the snow, to their house. Sarah opened the door, her smile brittle. "Oh, hi. We weren't expecting you." Behind her I saw him. My son, standing stiff in the kitchen doorway, pale, eyes locked on me as if I carried something dangerous. I clutched my purse tighter, the envelope inside. "I need to talk to you," I whispered. But it wasn't just me who whispered. From the hallway shadows came another voice, a man's voice. "Come, Colt. She knows." Sarah's smile faltered. My son's face drained of color. In that instant, I realized I wasn't the only one who had received the letter. To be continued. Last part soon. Please like, subscribe, and share.